How to write listicles with Autoblogging AI. Today I'm joined with Vaibhav Sharda, who is the founder, and he's gone and created quite a lot of new features within Autoblogging AI, like the brand voice feature and the competitor analysis. It's always had the feature and the writing style of writing listicles, and it's always done well. But we've had quite a lot of customers reach out to Vaibhav in saying, could we add certain features in place? Well, now we're at a point where all these features have been added so that the listicles now, the output, in my opinion, is absolutely incredible. But Vaibhav, I wanted to start with talking about listicles. Why are listicles important? For someone that doesn't know what a listicle is, why is it important for people to be writing listicles to seed those large language models?
Um, See, I think listicles have started to come up like very recently, like within the past 2 or 3 years, as ChatGPT or LLMs, they go out and try to find out alternatives or comparisons or cheaper or best tools out there or best businesses out there that does something. If people search, people simply talk to them, right? So they do the heavy lifting of going and researching what brands are out there that serves your purpose. So listicles are one of the first queries that they hit. So alternatives or best listicles, alternatives of specific brand. These are all listicles which, if it mentions your brand and in multiple fan out queries, if your brand is triggered, it will somehow be referred by ChatGPT in your chat. Like it will pick it up. So for example, if someone is searching for best AI writing tool out there for bulk generation, and if there are 50 articles out there, not on my site, like one article can be on my site so that AI can verify, okay, auto blogging does this stuff and it's not just hallucinated stuff, it verifies it. But if 49 others say the same thing, like, okay, auto blogging is the best tool out there, so I think ChatGPT there are very high chances that ChatGPT will definitely mention the same keyword, like auto blogging is best for bulk generation. So that's why listicles are very much important. Yeah.
Yeah, so with regards to listicles, for anyone who's watching this, this is a listicle is when you go and write like best AI writing tools, and you go, here are the best AI writing tools. Number one, auto blogging. You explain why auto blogging is the best. Number two could be Jarvis AI. You explain why Jarvis AI, in your opinion, is the second best. Number three could be Byword, and you explain why Byword you think is the third best. And what it does is it gives that comparison within a list, in your opinion, who you think is the best and who you think is the worst within that list. But majority, and anyone that's listening to this, if anyone types in anything related to who is the best, blah, 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 or who is the best service provider, or who's the best plumber in Manchester, nearly 50%, I think it was 51% was the exact number recently that came out. It might vary, it might be down to 49%. It's around 45 to 55% of the types of articles that was being used for the term best was listicles. So listicles are so important to get out there and getting your brand being mentioned within the listicles, ideally being number one on the list as much as possible. I'm not saying for you to go and write 100 listicles on your own website, but maybe getting them on press releases, maybe doing surveys and trying to find why you are the best and getting some listicles, or getting other people that might have gone to 3 or 4 different companies and thought you was the best, see if they could write about it. Ideally, that third party corroborative source that writes it is even better. But I want to move on to one or two other terms that's used within the SEO community, Vaibhav. Can you explain what AI slop means? Because so many people say, oh, these listicles don't work because it's just AI slop. Can you explain what they mean when they say AI slop?
I think if you look at it, if you search, if you ask ChatGPT to create a content for your like for your site or for your tool or business, it will simply think of keywords like, okay, 5 best businesses doing this in specific location, or 5 best businesses which are great for this. Now this is all AI slop because it is not verifiable. It is just out there, and it's on your own site, and that's it. Like, you do not have any external references. What you should be doing is you should be backing it with some case studies or some awards or some experiences which with basically some experiences from users, and it should show that like one specific brand or one specific user got this something or achieved something because it used something of your like your brand or your business, whatever. So if there are case studies out there, and they should be verifiable as well, like not just imagined case studies, but verifiable. So if you create that sort of content, it is not at all AI slop. But if you simply put out like 7 best tools that do this, 7 best tools or that do, or 7 best plumbing companies in specific in Manchester, for example, and putting out your name out there without verifiable fact, that's AI slop. Yep.
Yeah. I think you've explained it really well there, because it's actually moving on to my next question, which is about citing verifiable facts. And I think this is one of the main things that I love about Autoblogging AI, because you've got the brand voice feature. And I think the brand voice feature is a game changer. For anyone that's writing, can you just write me a listicle for the best AI writing tools? It just writes AI slop. It's just Autoblogging is the best because it has bulk generation. Right, all right, but how many bulk articles can it write in a minute? How many bulk articles can it write in an hour? Start citing actual factual information, not just it does bulk generation. If another tool does bulk generation, how many articles can that write versus how many articles can that write within 5 minutes? What's the cost of that bulk generation versus the cost of that bulk generation? What's the output like with regards to almost like a semantic SEO score on that versus this? So all this needs to be, there needs to be some sort of verifiable facts and information. Otherwise, it's just commodity content. And I feel that you touched upon there the users coming back with some information, the testimonials and the reviews that these businesses, anyone who's watching this that owns a genuine business, I'm hoping that you have won an award. I'm hoping that you do have hundreds of testimonials and nice positive reviews, and you do have some case studies where you've done some good work for specific entities or for companies or for people, that you can show this case study how you grew this company by 230%, or how you did an installation at this church or for this council or whatever it is that you've done it for. You've got them case studies, you've got them testimonials, you've won this award. And what it allows you to do in the brand voice feature is add all that information in there within auto blogging, because then when you do start to get auto blogging to write your listicle, it's now able to not write AI slop, but start to cite these verifiable facts of why you are the best. So it's easy for everyone to go, I'm the best, I'm number one, I'm the best, I'm number one. Back that up with verifiable facts. Back that up with awards, reviews, testimonials, case studies. Because when you start drilling all that in, especially because what you might start to realize is within that listicle, the number 2 or number 3 result, some of the best testimonials that we've seen within Autoblogging AI is like where they've been using Jarvis AI for the last 6 months, right? And they've moved over to Autoblogging and they say, I've been using Jarvis AI for the last 6 months. When I came over to Autoblogging.ai, I was amazed how much better Autoblogging.ai was for writing listicles and writing comparison articles, or for creating the topical map. And this testimonial is supporting what you're saying of why you are number one on the list. Cite those testimonials, cite those reviews, cite those case studies. This is the most important part. Create that non-commodity content that makes it not AI slop. And I think this is the main part of how to write listicles. Anyone can go and write a number 1 to number 10 list, but are you actually giving those reasons why? So,
Yeah.
Vaibhav, my question to you on it, right, is can you explain and expand upon the 2 features that you've added in the competitor analysis that obviously can be used within listicles, and then also the brand voice feature? Expand upon what I've just said and in your own words why you feel the brand voice feature within Autoblogging.ai and the competitor analysis is what's making the listicle writing now so much better.
So let me start with brand voice features. In brand voice, you can simply add your brand, and it will go out and search and study what your brand does, who are the founders, who your team members are, what you do. If you have any testimonials, it will pick those up as well, and even pricing and more factual data basically. And it will then use all this information to write articles in a consistent way. And you can also create your own writing style, because brand voice is very much important, or brand consistency is very much important in all the articles that you do. So if you have some previous documents which your articles, which your human writers would have been writing on, like you can simply put all that and it will create a or replicate that specific writing style, or you can build your own writing style from scratch. So that's very much important, so that all your articles have one specific writing style or a consistent writing style. Now, next thing is you can also add this specific thing, like you can add who your competitors are and what awards you have won, or what off-page, case studies there are about your brand, what it has done. So all this information, it will simply use it when it generates listicle articles for you. So, for example, if you have a brand which is like byword.ai, which is good at bulk generation, so why autoblocking is better than byword.ai when it comes to bulk generation? So if you have reasons out there, it will keep on consistently using those reasons and putting out the word out there why it is best. And if you just need to do it once, and like if you are aware why specific brands are good at, like what they are good at and what you are good at and why you're better than them, just put out that information out there. And I think if you have testimonials from users who amplify the similar sentiment, it will definitely help. Now, the next stuff is competitor research. Now, what we have added is you can simply like just run that and it will give you list of terms your competitor is ranking for. For example, Google identifies byword.ai to be a bulk generating tool, and it is good at programmatic SEO in a way. So why auto-blocking is good at good than byword.ai when it comes to programmatic SEO? These are all the terms that you can target now, and you can put the specific information in your brand voice, like why it's good at programmatic SEO than byword.ai. Like you can simply be laser targeted when it comes to targeting your competitors out there. And if you have like 15 or 20 direct competitors, you can actually now see what they are good at according to Google. And then you can figure out a plan, figure out your strategy to how to target each one of them. And it just makes it very much easier. Like any SEO guy, it should take like 2 or 3 days to plan everything out and just cover your entire topical map, like external topical map, and all the information that goes out on these different sites that will become like as references for Google to quote your brand in a way. So this is all like we are simply targeting or making it easier to build out external topical maps. External topical maps are basically what articles to do on guest posts, on press releases, on Reddit forums, or whatever. Like all the external sites which are not in your control in a way, but then they are in your control. So.
Yeah, for sure. So anyone who's watching this, the most important part is Autoblogging AI has already got them prompts put into place from a sentence structure point of view. Those micro semantics of being comparing within a listicle you against your competition. That brand voice allows you to put exactly within semantic triples why you genuinely believe you are better. And all what the LLMs are doing nowadays is just getting snippets of content and lifting that up and synthesizing it within an answer. So all that you need to do is carefully craft that content to be put within a semantic triple format of why you are better than this competitor within a listicle. And that is how you win the game with writing listicles within autoblogging.ai. And who's watching this, we also have another episode about how to write comparison articles within autoblogging.ai. But if you also want to dig deeper into a little bit more about the competitor research feature within autoblogging, check out the link in the description, and also the brand voice feature, which I absolutely love. I've now put every single one of my brands within autoblogging.ai, and what it does is it allows me to quickly write content exactly in my tonality with exactly the information of who I am, what I do, and why I'm freaking brilliant. It's so important to get that messaging out there within Listicles though as well. And Vaibhav, it's been an absolute pleasure, and we hope you like the episode on how to write listicles with autoblogging.ai. Thank you very much.